variable, the first variable that we wanted to identify was changes in price. And this was case number 1. And remember, this was very specific. When we talk about changes in price, we made a change in the price of the good in question today. So this was very specific. And what it looked like graphically was this: we had quantity, we had price. Here's our demand curve, downward sloping. A change in price. Do you remember the specific language we used when we said there's a change in price? How do we refer to this? Very good. A change in price, how we refer to this is changes in quantity demanded. Good. This is when you have a movement along the demand curve. So what it looked like graphically was, let's say we have P1. Here is the quantity associated with P1. A change in the price of the good in question today. So for example, if we lower the price, here is an increase in the quantity demanded. So from P1 to P3, lowering the price of quantity demanded increases from Q1 to Q3. Or you could raise up the price. Say to raise up the price, quantity demanded falls from Q1 to Q2. That was the idea behind a change in the price of the good in question today. And remember the example we were using. You have a change in the price of Pepsi, then the quantity demanded of Pepsi will change. That's case 1. If you expect the price of Pepsi to change next week, that's not this. If you see a change in the price of Coca-Cola, that's not this. But this is very specific. A change in the price of the good in question today, slide along the demand curve. We also look at case number 2. This is kind of where we left off. We started it, but we didn't finish it. And these are all the variables that affect demand, but they're not the price of the good in question. So they don't fall on the changes in price or case 1. These are non-price factors. Lump them together. They affect demand, but they're not the price of the good in question. The key thing graphically, set it up. Here's your demand curve. Remind me, there's a change in a variable that's not price and it causes demand to increase. What would we do? Demand changes. Now how do we show it? Very good. Shift it to the right. Very good. This is an increase in demand. And the story is reminding us the language is we have a change in demand. What about the decrease? How do I show that? Very good. Shift it to the left. This is a decrease in demand. Right is an increase, left is a decrease for all variables that are not the price of the good in question, but they affect demand. Now where we kind of left off, we started listing variables that fell under case number 2. Yeah? Variables that would shift the demand curve. So, just to remind you of the thing, tell me some of these non-price factors. Case 2. You're shifting the demand curve. Then the first one, your taste or your preference. You guys remember how this works? Your taste is favorable towards something. What do you expect? Or how do we show that? You shift it to the right. So if our taste becomes favorable towards something, it shifts to the right. If it's unfavorable, it shifts to the left. What was the second one?
Number of buyers.
The number of buyers. This is fairly simple. More buyers to the right. Less buyers to the left. Yeah? And what was the third one?
Price expectations.
Price expectations. And be careful with this one here. Remember, it's what you expect in terms of prices in the future. So it's not a case 1 issue. It's going to be shifting the curve. How did this work? As a consumer, you expect prices to go up in the future. What happens? So if you expect prices to go up in the future, Who said to the left?
To the left.
Who said to the left? Yeah? So you are a consumer, you expect prices to be higher in the future. What are you going to do today? So where would it go today? Yes? Flip it around, you expect prices to drop in the future. Yeah? Let's continue with some non-price factors. So you can continue with your list. So let's continue. Other variables that affect demand and they're not the price of the good in question, those calling the ABC. Yes? Let's say you like sneakers. Nice ones. You can play basketball, you can do stuff. Nice sneakers. Let's say you get a raise at work. So you do an excellent job. I'm gonna give you more money, your income goes up. When your income goes up, you earn more money. What should happen to your demand for these sneakers that I'm talking about? So more income, which way would be shifted demand curve? Yeah, everybody agrees? You get more income, demand would increase, it goes to the right. Okay, so more income makes sense. Demand would increase, it goes to the right. But I'm asked to let you go. So your income goes down. What should happen to your demand for these sneakers I described? So less income to the left. Makes sense. Here's my scenario for you. You finish college, transfer to CSUN, major in accounting. It's a good program over there, by the way. Finish majoring in accounting, get a new job. Remember, you were a student, earning 0 or negative. Now you get a new job, you're earning more money, your income goes up. What is going to happen to your demand for a used car? Let me be more specific. What's going to happen to your demand for a 1990 Honda Civic based on that scenario I just gave you? So now you get a new job, accounting, good field. Let's say they start you out at $50,000 per year. And I'm asking, you get more money, what's going to happen to your demand for that 1990 Honda Civic? He's shaking his head really hard, like. But I thought when we got more income, it would go to the right. In this scenario, when you get more income, what's going to happen? So what's going to happen to the demand for the 1990 Honda? It's going to shift to the left. Which means it matters what type of good we're looking at when we look at this income variable. The first description, the example I gave with Nick, this particular good, where when you get more income, you demand more of it. And when you get less income, you demand less of it. These are called normal goods. Most goods are normal goods. More money, we buy more of it. Less money, we buy less of it. Now the example with Chris is different. The example with Chris, as he correctly told me, when we get more income, for this particular good, he's arguing and he's right, more income demand will go to the left. Less income for these goods, it will go to the right. When you get less money, you tend to gravitate more towards these goods. These goods are called inferior goods. So watch the income variable. It matters what type of good we have. There's some goods where when you get more income, you buy more of them. Less income, you want less of them. Those are normal goods. There are other classes of goods called inferior goods, where when you get more income, you actually want less of them. And when you get less income, you want more of them. A used car is an example. Used clothes in some instances. Ramen noodles. You get a job, you stop eating that stuff. A bus pass is considered an inferior good. You get more income, you take to buy a car, that sort of stuff. So watch the income variable. It matters what class of good we have. So be very careful. Normal good, more money to the right. Inferior good, more money to the left. So be very careful here. The inferior good, and when we say inferior good, it's not indicative of the quality of the good. So people say inferior good, it means it's inferior. Not necessarily. The inferior good is just referring to how you feel about it when you get more money. So it's not indicative of the quality of the good. It's not because it's low quality. It's just how you feel when you get more money and how you react in terms of demand to that good. That's the income variable.